So here we have the annual accounts. First point I'd like to make is that in all the blurb that accompanies it, all very routine material, it does refer to me as Chairman and Chief Officer. That is a matter of convenience. I've asked Tony to point out Acting Chairman and Chief Officer, although you will know that actually I'm neither. What it does though is actually meet the obligations of what we need to do for the accountancy process. Our financial activities are set out, and if you look at the area I've highlighted here down the bottom, you'll see that at the end of 2013 the forum itself has £9,639 in its funds. In addition to that, there's £3,703 of Dad Zone money, but that's for Dad Zone to decide what to do with. How have we arrived at that? Well, if we look at the line above, that tells us where we were at the end of 2012. So the forum had £10,290. And the difference is that we've spent money here, £480 on preparing the annual accounts, and that's very important because we have to do that for the Charity Commission and Companies House. And we also took out £190 worth of insurance and paid a bill of £13, which is the cost of filing the accounts. So in total there was £683 expenditure. We did have some income. There was a massive £9 of interest paid on our accounts. £7 of that has been allocated to the Community Forum's accounts, and we also had the mysterious £25 paid into our accounts, which we have called sundries. So altogether 25 and 7 gives the £32 income. £683 spent, £651 net, which takes us down from the £10,290 to £9,639. But also in our account is the restricted funds for Dad Zone. That stood at £3,701, plus their £2 share of the interest gives the £3,703. So that's where we are. There's a few other ways of looking at that. The balance sheet more or less has the same information. Here's our Community Forum funds, here's the Dad Zone funds, and there's the total. It does note though, as an accountant would, that we have to pay his fee for this year's account, which is £480. Income, there's the mysterious £25, and the activity really sets out what we've spent our money on, which I talked about a little bit earlier. The other activities that occur in the account are actually accounted for separately to the Community Forum because it's not the Community Forum's money. We've done two things this year. We've used our account to hold money for Community First Brierley Hill. That's a government project aimed at improving volunteering in the area. There was £345 income towards its expenses. £245 of that has been spent, so there's £100 remaining. And the other project was the Brierley Hill Christmas Festival, and £2,500 was allocated by Community First towards the Christmas Festival. It was very successful. £1,054 was spent on last year's activities, which leaves £1,446 in the Community Forum accounts for this year's activities, and that's likely to be moved out this year. As I say, kept in a separate account because it's not the forum's money, but it's there for noting, so there is a record of what we've been doing. And that, I believe, are the key points of the account.